Dark screen, a barely audible off-key note. Hands hover over broken keys, fingers tremble. Air thick, cold, smelling of dust and old wood. Inner voice, I don't remember faces. I only remember sound, and one day it disappeared. Sharp cut. Children's laughter to siren far away. Sounds overlap, creating tension and sense of loss. Black screen. You are a child in a forgotten district. Light beams through cracks in the trees, empty streets. No photos of parents, almost no memories. Only a short melody wanders in your mind. You stand under windows of strangers' houses, listening to someone learning piano. Not out of jealousy, just need to hear the sound again that keeps you afloat. Camera close-up, eyes wide, every sound penetrates inside. Pawn shop. Old piano in the corner, crack along body. Wood faded, strings sag. Money is not enough. You check pockets, only a few coins. Give everything you have. Carry it yourself. Heavy, hums with each step. Keys sound crooked, some unpredictable, but when you press the first one, inside becomes quieter. I had nothing, but when I played, easier. Evening. You play in a narrow alley. Lamps barely illuminate hands. Fingers remember notes. Headlights pass. Shadows jump on walls. Falling bucket. Heart races. Darkness returns. We don't see the fall, only the sound. One key breaks. Awakening in an unfamiliar place. Cold. Voices whisper. No one explains. No one looks for those. No one waits for anyway. No screaming. No cruelty. Only silent threat pressing on your chest. You are given a new name. Goldfish. They say it's easier. Fewer questions, less worry. They teach you not to think about yesterday. Not to remember. Not to ask questions. The past is noise. Gradually you stop remembering. Not because you want to, but because it's easier to breathe. Music fades. Mouse is strange. He laughs, sometimes too loudly, unnervingly. One day he asks, "Who were you before?" You answer, "I don't know." And it's true, but fear rises inside. Not fear of death. Fear that if you remember, you won't endure it. Mouse says he wants to leave. Bake bread. Live quietly. You feel a pull inside. One day they tell you to bring him back. You walk through abandoned streets. Lamps flicker, reflecting in puddles. Every sound, your step or his, amplifies tension. Mouse's shadow moves forward, your reflection in the puddle behind. Wind rustles leaves. You arrive at the cemetery. He sits by his mother's grave. Doesn't run. You stand nearby. "Do you remember anything?" he asks again. You remain silent. Chaos inside. Memories shattered. Melody, children's laughter, old piano, cracked keys. All flash in fragments in your mind. Close-up of your eyes shining with tears. Tension rises. Viewer waits, but you remain silent. Suddenly, old melody returns. Fingers move over imaginary keys on the table. Sounds echo. Memory, crack in piano body. Dark alley. Old piano. You sit. First note crooked. Second better. Third note. Pause. Tears appear before you even realize it. I was just a boy. Mouse watches quietly. No scream, no aggression, only eyes observing and understanding. They say you need to help one more time. You ride in a car. City sleeps, but you see everything. Streetlights, puddles, dark streets. A child with a ball runs onto the road. Time slows. You hear the notes clearly. Before, you wouldn't hesitate. Now, you brake. Someone honks behind. You don't turn back. You steer aside. Impact, water, silence, light. Hands on piano keys. Small hall. Sounds echo, creating depth. You play a simple melody, without perfection, without grandeur, just sound. Every note resonates emotionally. Close-up shows fingers moving with intent. Melody revives. Memory returns in waves. Mouse watches across the hall, eyes full of curiosity. Close-up on your eyes reflecting the melody. Each note, step toward freedom from fear, past, unknown. Sudden accent in music. Light-filled room. Camera retreats, showing the full hall. You keep playing. Every note has meaning. Melody sounds pure. No crooked keys, no chaos. Close up on your face. Tears but calm. Inner voice whispers, I was just a boy. I am reborn through sound. Only one pure note remains, your choice. Camera lingers on hands and eyes. Note echoes long. Black screen. Inner voice, quietly. This time, I choose the music. Dark memory returns. Alleyway shadows, distant sirens, echoing laughter. The piano waits. You feel the weight of every note before touching a key. Memories flutter like fragile wings. Fingers hover, air thick with expectation. A single off-key note breaks silence. The hall darkens. Light flickers from broken lamps. Dust swirls in the air. Mouse stands silently, watching. His face unreadable, but eyes follow every movement. You strike a key, crooked. The sound resonates. Heartbeat matches its rhythm. Another note, smoother. A wave of calm washes over you, piercing fear slowly. Shadows dance across the walls. Every note you play pushes the past further away. The melody grows. Echoes of childhood intertwine with present sound, creating tension. Each key pressed feels like a battle won, like reclaiming a fragment of yourself. Close up on trembling hands. Camera moves to face. Tears threaten, but you continue. Light streams through cracks in the ceiling. Dust motes float, highlighting the space's emptiness. Memory flashes, a younger you struggling to reach the keys. The weight of the piano remembered. Fingers press harder. The notes resonate, filling the emptiness with sound. With life. Mouse leans back, observing. Silence between notes almost deafening, creating suspense. Every key played evokes something forgotten, something lost. A fragment of childhood. Hands move faster. Music builds intensity. Shadows flicker across walls and floor. Memory of alley, of cold nights, of stolen moments practicing in darkness, all return. Each note strikes deeper, opening locked doors in your mind, stirring old fears. The sound becomes your shield. You are not a child lost anymore. You fight with music. Camera pans over hall. Audience of one. Mouse. Silent. Attentive. His presence grounding. Hands blur with speed. Notes cascade. Crescendo builds tension. Heart pounding. Breaths shallow. Memory of broken key. The first piano you carried. Pain. Effort. Longing. All surface. Music becomes cathartic. Fear and sadness transmute into melody. Every note deliberate. Shadows retreat as light grows. Camera captures every subtle facial expression of determination. A distant echo of laughter. Childhood innocence. Reverberates with your playing. Fingers tremble but continue. Every wrong note embraced, transformed into part of harmony. You play louder. Hall vibrates. Music fills empty space. Every note a statement of survival. Heart racing, sweat glistening. Fear and memory mix into every chord, every pause. Memory returns. Piano lessons in secret. Stolen notes. Moments of joy amid despair. Each chord strikes harder emotionally. Camera focuses on eyes, reflecting past and present. Music reaches a peak. Crescendo. All your memories, pain, joy, fear, and hope collide. Pause. A single note hangs, trembling, echoing through the hall, resonating with your soul. Breath caught. Tension lingers. Audience, just mouse, waits, unblinking. You press keys with intention, every movement storytelling, recounting your journey. Music flows, smooth and jagged simultaneously, capturing the chaos of memory and present. Camera shifts between hands and eyes, capturing the struggle and triumph simultaneously. Each key pressed is a choice, to remember, to feel, to claim your past back. Shadows flicker again. Music slows, softens, becomes intimate, drawing in viewer deeper. Inner voice. I was just a boy, but music saved me. Close-up of piano keys. Hands linger over notes, remembering each sound, each moment. Music becomes a bridge, connecting past traumas to present strength and clarity. You play a melody simple, yet profound. Each note precise, each pause meaningful. Mouse leans forward slightly, sensing the change. Music transforming fear into calm. Camera slowly circles, capturing entire hall bathed in soft, reflective light. Every key pressed feels like reclaiming a piece of self long lost to memory and time. Music swells, emotionally intense, yet controlled. Eyes close briefly. Breath slows. You sink into the rhythm, music guiding your soul. Melody softens, fades slightly, leaving lingering resonance, echoing past pain and triumph. Inner voice. I am reborn through music. I choose the notes. I choose myself. Black screen. Silence holds. Black screen. Tension lingers as hands hover over keys. Memory stirs. Alleyways, broken pianos, fleeting melodies from childhood nights. Fingers move slowly, almost ritualistic, recalling each lost note. Light filters through cracks, highlighting dust, creating a mystical glow around the piano. Every note carries weight. Every pause resonates with unspoken stories. Music grows intimate, each sound a dialogue between past and present. Shadows shift as melody flows, wrapping hall in suspense and emotion. Inner voice whispers fragments. I had nothing, but music gave me wings. Fingers hesitate on keys, recalling pain, longing, and fleeting joy. A sudden high note pierces air, startling. Heart racing, tension spikes. Memory flickers. First piano, the crack. Cold streets, tiny victories. You press another key, steadying yourself, reclaiming confidence with sound. Music flows faster, crescendo building. Past and present collide with intensity. Camera pans across hall, highlighting emptiness, yet filling it with sound. Each note resonates like heartbeat, alive, raw, unfiltered. Close up on eyes, glistening with emotion, reflecting light and memories. The melody evolves, simple yet intricate, chaotic yet harmonious. A sudden pause, silence amplifies anticipation, keeping viewer on edge. Fingers press harder, determined. Music becomes defiance, survival, declaration. Shadows stretch, light flickers, hall vibrates with emotional energy. Memory floods, nights spent alone, piano lessons stolen in secret. Every wrong note embraced, transformed, becomes part of story, part of healing. Close-up of trembling fingers, each movement deliberate, meaningful. Crescendo builds, music intense, full, a flood of emotion surging through hall, heart pounding, sweat glistens. You play as if to reclaim every lost fragment. Camera pans to mouse. He watches silently, sensing change, transformation. Melody softens briefly, tender, reflective, inviting viewer deeper into story. Inner voice. Each note is mine. Each pause is mine. I claim myself again. Fingers glide across keys with purpose, recreating harmony from chaos. Music flows freely, weaving memory and present, fear and courage into one. Shadows recede, light spreads, hall alive with resonance, echoing past and present. Every chord intentional, every tone a piece of self rediscovered. Music swells, emotionally intense, crescendoing toward clarity and freedom. Close-up of face, eyes closed, breaths deep, fully immersed in sound. Melody reaches peak, raw emotion, catharsis, release, triumph. Fingers hesitate, then strike one final series of notes, deliberate and powerful. Silence returns slowly, echoing long after last key is struck. Inner voice whispers softly, I am no longer lost. Music brought me home. Camera pans out, showing hall, piano, and lone figure bathed in soft light. Memory and present merge. Music bridging past pain with current strength. Fingers rest lightly on keys. Trembling fades, peace settles. Slow, intentional glance around hall, absorbing emptiness, sound, and light. Melody lingers in air, soft, delicate, carrying weight of every past struggle. Inner voice. I choose each note, each sound, each moment. This is my world now. Hands hover, ready, but pause, knowing each choice matters. Camera closes in on piano keys, glinting in light, each a story, a memory. Music becomes mantra, breathing rhythm, calming pulse, connecting soul to keys. Crescendo fades, soft notes remain, pure, intentional, healing. Black screen. One long note resonates, echoing through memory and heart. Silence deepens. Full, complete, resonant, yet comforting. Inner voice whispers clearly, I am no longer lost. Music brought me home. Fingers hover one last time, intentional, knowing each choice mattered to this moment. Music, Memory and present converge. Everything aligns in calm, quiet clarity. Light flares subtly. Soft shadows retreat completely. Hall empty, safe, alive with memory. Hands lift from keys slowly, finality and calm in motion, echo of freedom. One pure note remains, sustained, resonant, carrying weight and triumph of journey. Camera lingers on hands, eyes, piano, capturing closure, reflection, and choice. Inner voice, softly, definitively. This time, I choose the music. Note fades into silence, black screen, final frame, total quiet. The journey, the music, and the memory remain complete.